What's going on, world? This is the Live For You podcast. Have one of my dear friends here. I'm excited to have her on this episode, on this platform. It's been a minute. Marcy.
Yep.
Yo, what's your IG name?
Mars took the mic.
No, that's tough, man.
It's pretty appropriate
That's
for the
tough.
situation.
Little background, man. Marcy and I went to school together at Elms. Do you know, I don't know if you remember this. So during orientation that you I had the gummy, right?
Oh, yes.
And you came to me, you was like, we're going to be good friends.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
I
that?
absolutely remember that.
I was like,
mm-hmm.
Girl talking about like we're gonna be good friends. You don't
Right.
even know me, but I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, you
like,
probably thought I was trying to holler.
No. I just was like, what's this girl like thinking? Like, oh, we're gonna be good friends. What? Like, but no, I was like, dang, like you said that like years ago, and we still,
2010 to be exact.
2010, and we still, obviously we have our own lives, but we still maintain. You know what I mean? So that's cool. But just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man.
Let's see. So my name is Mars. I graduated with Isaiah in 2014 from Elms. I was a social work major. I was life of the party, basketball player.
Do you still hoop?
Yeah, I still hoop, but man, I'm not.
There's a hoop in the backyard. We can
take up some shots. We can take up. I gotta take the
cool.
rings off, but we can take up some shots
cool.
for sure. And just after graduation, went to LA for my master's degree at USC. Shout out to all my Trojans.
That's tough.
And then came back to the East Coast, came back home and figured some stuff out. And now I am in Washington, D.C., fighting the good fight, trying to spread messages, social justice work and all that stuff.
Absolutely, man.
So, yeah.
And just to harp on what you said as far as social justice, you've always seemed to be someone who's really like outspoken, not afraid to step up to someone who, step up to the grain, basically. So you've, from what I've seen, you've like traveled, man. You've being from Chicopee, right? Being from Chicopee, going to LA, Washington. You've seen a lot. You've experienced a lot. You know a lot of people from all over the states. You know what I mean? So what's your purpose? Like, why are you doing the things that you're doing in your life? Like, what's your purpose? Like, why are you?
That is a loaded question.
Yeah, we're getting right into it, man.
It's the first question of the
like, what's your
session.
purpose?
Okay.
Like, why? Like, why are you doing these things? Why are you so outspoken? Why are you so vocal in your way, in your approach in life? You know what I mean?
Right. I don't know. I think that the life, whatever this like work, really just kind of called on me. Like when I was in Elms and I was studying social work, a lot of people thought I was a social worker before I even like declared that major. Yeah. They was like, "Oh, you a social work major?" I'm like, "No, hell no.
Yeah.
That's depressing." Right. I'm like, "I'm not doing that."
Yeah. And
then when I started taking classes and when I started doing it, and like when I started like realizing like the impact that you can have on people, I was kind of just like, "Oh, this actually might be for me." So thank you for putting that bug in my ear.
Yeah.
And as far as purpose, like I simply don't know what my purpose is, but I feel like a lot of like strength, I guess, in like just helping somebody, trying to make this place better.
Yep.
For, my future kids, for your future kids, for their future kids, and even like just like simple things as like making someone smile. Like, me, I've always been a goofball. Like, making people smile has always been one of my favorite things too. So why not make someone smile for like a longer period of time, right? Like, make their heart smile.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna even go like deeper than that. Like for me, like for an example, right? So, I know, my bad, man. I'm sorry. So like, I'm an accountant by trade, like pretty, I'm okay with the numbers, but I feel like I have more of a deeper calling, you know what I mean? And that's kind of, I've come to realize that's being on a platform where I can like talk to creative, like-minded individuals like yourself about what purpose they serve on this earth and why they're doing whatever they're doing in their lives. And even since we were like RAs, we were RAs. Even since we were RAs at school, like you've always kind of like had that impression on so many students. Like you were able to talk to them on whatever issues or whatever problems that they were going through, Even your fellow RAs, like, you know, they'll come to you to talk to, and you always seem to be that type of person that can give good advice and have people take a different insight on so many things. So like, this is making me go through Live For You, because it's sort of like when you're living for you, you're living out your purpose. So I know you're that type of person that you can put a smile on so many different people's faces, but like, I want like an answer, like what's the, like, why do you wake up to go about your day? You actually said something to me a few weeks ago, and I didn't ignore it. It's just I didn't have the time to do this. I think you had sent me a message, and you were like, you know, give me like 3 examples, you know, Monday motivation. You know, can you like say some things to uplift, let's start this going. So like, you know, I like that. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool, but I couldn't do it at the time. But so like, what's your like why? Like, why do you wake up every day? Like, or what's your deeper purpose? Like, what do you want to like let people know, let the world know, you know what I mean, about who Marcy is and what she's contributed? Right. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm asking, kind of? I
do, yes. Yep. I think I can give you an answer, right? I can tell you.
Because we can have like, you know, like I'm trying to, you know, make us do this. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
I absolutely know, yeah. The thing about that is just like, I feel like when you think about like us being here on this planet, like you can go real deep with this shit, right? Like I don't even know what I am, who made me, what's going on.
Absolutely.
There's so many different people who believe in like different religions, believe in like different like theories about what we are and who we are and why we're here, and like galaxies and this and that, like, you know, so like we can go that deep, which I don't know much about that, and you know what I'm saying, we can be here forever talking about that, but
absolutely, in
terms of like why I just wake up every day and like why I am the way that I am, and you know, I try to be as genuine and as authentic as I can be, you know, because I feel like I just was born to do that. Like I was, whoever put me here wanted me to be here to do that. Yeah. And I think all of the of like the pain and like the suffering and all the evil things happening and all the people who want to like bring you down, it's just like I'm not gonna like that. You know, I'm not gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I want to be like something opposite from that. Yeah. And you know, I've always felt that I've had that. Like you said, like even when I was younger, never really had words to explain it. But you know, now you have the words, and now you have like the means to do it. Now you have the platform or the, you know, to do that. And it's just like, why not just make someone happy? Like there's so much making someone sad already. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Like, I just want to end some suffering. Like, there's just so much of it.
Some misery, man.
Yeah, like so. That's why I get up every day. Like I get up to be an example of something good. Like just simply something good in the world. Gotcha. You know, and I think, you know, something inspiring. Something just like genuine, like empathic, you know, you understand human nature. I mean, for the most part, right? You studied it for fucking 6 years. Yeah. So you understand some of that, right? Yeah. You know, your fashion, like expression, just your gender identity, like all these things, like just make shit accessible, make shit happy for someone else.
Gotcha. You know? Yeah. And it's nice that you brought that up, because a lot of people are like, sometimes someone needs to look to you for them to get motivated, or for them to feel comfortable. You know what I mean? Sometimes people, I guess sometimes people have difficulty having the courage to be themselves. Yeah. So when they see someone like yourself being who you want to be and absolutely living your life the way you want to, then it gives them like the confidence to be like, you know what, Marcy's living for her. She's doing her thing. She's living on her purpose. You know what? I'm going to do that too. You know what I mean? It gives people confidence. So people need to see that, because what's the word? It's infectious. Yes. When you know, be yourself, and when you're carrying that energy, people are gonna be like, man, like I want to be like that too. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you another thing. You said something about like, you know, like those words and this and that. I just had thought of something. I was like, man, I remember you used to do a lot of like spoken words in college too. God, yeah. And I remember listening to some stuff that you had put on like on the gram and stuff. So like, one, do you still write, and do you still do spoken words? Do you still perform? Are you still interested in that stuff? Like, what's the status with that?
Oh man, Mars has not taken a mic in a long time.
Dang, what?
I definitely still write. I do enjoy writing still. I haven't done it in a long time, and I think that, you know, the inspiration just comes randomly sometimes,
Yep.
and it'll be stagnant for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I definitely read a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot more than I used to. But yeah, I'm definitely very interested in writing. I love the craft, and I write, and my partner is a fantastic writer.
Awesome, man.
And she inspires me to kind of do some of that work as well.
Awesome.
Maybe I'll get back on the mic.
Awesome. You got to get back on it.
Yeah,
I remember
get
back at Elms, man. You
yeah.
I think it was like a poetry slam that we had, and I remember listening to your words, and you had some nice deliveries, man. So
thank you.
That's a talent. Like, you're good at that, man.
I will definitely try to get back into it just for you now.
Yeah, seriously, man. Seriously.
Forget living for you. This is just living for Isaiah now. I'm just gonna get back.
Hey, facts. And then another thing I wanted to ask too, because I saw a few. I think you had a few posts where I don't know if it's a show that you're producing or a show that you're in, or if you're, you know, helping writing it, or I know you have something going on. I didn't really look into it too much, but briefly, and I just was like, oh, I wonder, like, I'm curious to see what she's doing with that, because that sounds like a pretty cool project. So can you just talk about that briefly to see, you know, just so viewers can know about that? Or
absolutely. I mean, first of all, shame on you for not watching it.
Oh, I haven't. My bad. See,
are you kidding me?
See, look at, see.
Oh man.
See?
Okay. Yeah. So part of the reason why I moved down to DC, after I left my job, which forget about that.
Yeah.
Moved down to DC to one, be with my partner, and two, my best friend. Shout out to Janaea West, who also played ball with me at Chicopee High.
Nice.
She created and wrote an entire web series that is dedicated to Black women, and it's for Black women, and it's made by a Black woman. And I was just a part of that production team.
Wow.
So I was a coordinating producer, technically.
Wow.
Never really figured out those titles.
Wow.
So I was just on set, just helping cast people, helping find locations. I helped a little bit with wardrobe and styling. I directed one episode with my partner. That was really fun. And I just did a bunch of things that, like, just needed to be done, you know? This was in
DC?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's called Grown the Web Series.
I was gonna ask you,
It's called Grown the Web Series, like a grown up. And it's based in DC. And it gives a really, really cool inside look of DC, like, because, you know, we have all these shows that are based in DC, like Scandal and all, like, the presidential shits. But this one is like, nah, this is like the culture. Like, you know, you're getting some of the vibes. And I think that she did we've gotten great feedback, and I think that she did a good job of you know, we're not from DC. So to make a show about DC, and when you're not from there, it's kind of like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
But to be able to do that, that's still
and I think she did a good job trying to, like, be true and be authentic too. She's been there for like 7 years or some crazy number, I can't remember.
Dang.
But yeah, she's been there for a little while. So
where did the idea come from to start that? Do you know?
I think her you know, her motivation was, like, just a lack of representation in the media. You know, you don't get a lot of authentic, just regular stories about Black women, you know, after college, like, what's going on. You know, back in, like, the 90s, you had some really great shows, you know, focusing on Black folks, but nowadays it's just, like, not the same. You got, like, Blackish, you know, that's, like, a good one, but
it's true.
Not that many, It's true. So that's the representation. You know, she wanted to represent some regular girls post college. Like, let's figure out what we're doing. We all know that struggle very well.
Excuse me, I just got
yes, no worries. And so that was the motivation. One day she just said, you know, she said, yo, if I don't see something, I gotta make it then. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Wow, that's a creator for you right there, man.
Yes, she is.
So in that, and I'm gonna check it out.
Yes, please do watch it. There's 8 episodes. They're all, like, under, like, 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
What's the title of it again?
Called Grown the Web Series. GROWN. And that's Grown the Web Series on Instagram too.
So is it also on YouTube or just IG?
We have our website, and it's on our website.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna check that out. So are you, like, are you in any of, like, the scenes, or? I'm in one. Because I feel one scene. Yeah. I feel like you can be a beast actress. And
I don't think. I don't know.
I feel like you can be a beast actress. I don't know why you don't think you can, but I think you can be a beast actress. I just feel like it's just harder than it looks sometimes. No, you got it. You got it, man. You got it.
I think I could definitely do it. You know, I think if I put my mind to it, I could do it. But yeah, I'm in one scene in the last episode. It's very funny, so you got to go watch it now.
All right. Don't tell me. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
See my terrible acting skills.
Nah, you're good, man. You're good.
But yeah.
So I still have like so many things that I just still wanna talk to you about. First of all, do you still keep up with people at Elms? You know, just out of curiosity.
I keep up with, you know, my girls on the basketball team
Yep.
for the most part. You know, Ellen was at my housewarming party.
Yep.
So that was very nice to see her and have her there.
Nice.
You know, Denisha, E, Nicolette.
Nice.
Sometimes I'll hit up like Haley
Yep,
randomly.
yep.
Like Haley one time FaceTimed me by accident. And I was like, oh, what's up?
I don't know who.
No, yes, you do. Don't do that. She's going to listen to this and she's going to be pissed at you.
Wait, Haley.
Ziski?
Oh, I know. Wait,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Haley.
I'm like, bruh.
My bad.
Don't do that.
I know who Haley is. My bad.
Yeah, I still talk
Whoops.
to Haley.
That's cool.
Sometimes randomly. A few other people, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get along. Taylor, I still talk to Taylor, Darby, Jem Belanger, obviously. Yeah, so those are my people. You know,
Yeah.
still talk to them, keep up with them.
Yeah, that was a squad right there.
That was a squad. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then so as far as like, you know, moving to LA, how was that, man? Because were you by yourself?
Oh man, thank God. If I was by myself, I probably wouldn't have made it. My sister was there. My sister was there for a couple of years before I moved out there, and she was really, really happy and excited. One, that I got accepted into like my dream school.
Yeah.
It was really great, and then that I would be out there with her.
Yeah.
So I moved out basically the summer after graduation. It was like July 2014. Mm-hmm.
Wait, really? That fast?
Yeah, because I got a residence coordinator job.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
I didn't know it was that fast. That's crazy.
I mean, unless I'm thinking, no, I definitely did, because I graduated 2016. So the summer that we graduated, chilled for a little bit, applied to this residence coordinator job, got it.
Yeah, LA is amazing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been there like a few times, and when I was there, because we were in Venice, and like I saw a lot of like homeless people, but like younger. Like, and I was like, man, like, like there's a lot of like young homeless people. I'm not used to seeing that like up north. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean, if you
do people come to LA to feel like they're gonna like, you know, establish these big dreams, and then reality hits, and and you know,
I mean, I think
homeless,
that's definitely. I think no matter what your thing that you went to the West Coast was, I think that if I was homeless, I would absolutely want to be in California for the weather.
Gotcha, yeah.
I'm not gonna spend my nights in Massachusetts. If I have the means to make it there, I'm probably gonna go there.
Facts.
But I think that a lot of young people will go, and you know, they go with like nothing but the stuff on their back. You know, they're chasing something. Yeah. So I'm sure that some of them do end up homeless, but I think a lot of that also just has to do with like economics and like political issues and things like that. Like for me, there's absolutely no reason in this country that homelessness should be even a thing.
You're right.
But yeah, it's hard out here. Like, you got people out there with like PhDs that are homeless, and it's like, what's going on? You know, you have to look in the mirror at some point. And not for them. I'm talking about like the country. Like, the country needs to look in the mirror and be like, yo, like we're doing something wrong with this housing crisis.
Yeah. So you bring up so many good points, man. So like, dang, PhD is homeless. Whew. Yeah. Like, how far do you gotta? How hard do you gotta work, man?
Nah, like I was out there when I was out there my first year. I remember, shout out to Professor Hernandez. Like, we went out on an immersion, and we were out in Hollywood, right? So you think of Hollywood, you think of like the sign, and, like lit and money. Wait, let me tell you the story. So we're here in Hollywood, right? So we are walking the boulevard, chilling, whatever. We go back to East Hollywood. So even in LA, I noticed like a drastic difference. Like, you'll be on one side of like USC campus, you'll go up like 3 blocks and you see just like poverty. Just like, what the hell? Like, you know? So we're in East Hollywood, and that's where like definitely a lot of like homelessness, definitely a lot of poverty, definitely like a lot of issues, you know, crime, whatever that comes with poverty, because what else are you gonna fucking do out here? You know, you're trying to survive. And then you go to the boulevard, and you got like all the stars and the celebrities and tourism and money and the Chamber of Commerce, you know. And it's like, yeah. And I remember the first day I was with my social work friends. This is the first day I'm meeting them. This is our first class, and I see this woman, and she's a homeless woman sitting in the corner. She got her baby right here, and she got her toddler right here. And I was just like, yo, what's going on? Like, you know, because again, in Massachusetts, you do see homelessness, you know, but not like that. Not like that. Yeah. So I was just like, yo. Rip, just started bawling. Like, I gave her like, I only had like a chips and a soda for like my snack, and I gave her that, and my homeboy gave her some money. I started crying, and then I remember my homeboy Frankie came over to me. He was like, yo, this is how you know like you're in the right place. Like, and I was just like, am I? Like, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And it's true, like, there's power in numbers. Sure, like, we're all doing definitely making strides in like justice and whatever. But
I'm just gonna cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Yes.
So I think you were talking about, just like just how poverty is like extremely crazy in LA compared to like Massachusetts.
I mean, I don't even know if I can make that comparison because I don't know. But I just think like there's only so much like companies, organizations, and individuals and campaigns can do. Like it's really, really up to the powers of the government. Like, we can continue to rally, we can continue to protest, we can do these pledges, do these campaigns, and that's powerful and beautiful, and we should be doing those, and I do them. But freak, man, we gotta get some more people in power. Like, we gotta get some more people that are on our side that understand both generations, and the millennials and the Z's and the X's, the baby boomers, all these freaking people. So many different perspectives and ideas about each other that we never even really know. Like, we don't even know what you're saying. Like, you don't even know me.
You're
know
right,
what I'm saying?
You're right.
So we need more people in power that like really understand both sides of things, and
Are you in any like groups, or would you suggest any like groups where it gives people a voice to kind of say things like these, bring things to bring these type of subjects to awareness? You know what I mean? Like,
right. No, I'm not actually. I was a lot more politically involved, I suppose, like a couple years back, but really it was taking like a toll just like on my mental health, on my wellness, and I had to just take a step back because every day I was like arguing with somebody or just trying to inform some person who was like willfully ignorant and happy to be ignorant. And ignorance is not a bad thing. Like, I'm ignorant AF on some things, but when you are actively like just resistant to any sort of like knowledge, I think that's like a difference. And I was doing that with some people, and I'm just like, yo, I gotta stop. Like, I'm, first of all, you're not paying me for me to give you this education,
right? And
two, you're just not even like gonna retain anything I'm saying, and I'm wasting my energy and my breath,
right?
So I took a break from a lot of the political like messages and conversations and things that I was doing. But there are tons of places, there are tons of organizations, especially in DC, that's like hello, that's the capital, like we out here. So there's a lot of places. I would just suggest looking up things that you're passionate about and finding those local groups.
Because it can be draining when like you're trying to make change or trying to like talk about change and people don't understand you, or you're not being listened to or felt. That can be draining to your energy. You know what I mean? Like, does this mean something? Or does someone hear me? Or does someone with like some sort of like power or whatever hear what I'm trying to like preach or say, so they can like inflict change? But we were just talking about when the sound session kind of disconnected. We were talking about like student loans and how we saw I think it was Morehouse. I can't even remember the guy's name. You know his name?
I can't remember his name either.
But
Good guy, though.
There was a guy who paid for all of the debt.
2019 graduate debt, student
loan
debt.
Like took care of all of that stuff, like gone. So like,
which is so beautiful and so powerful.
That's powerful, man. Like, you don't have to worry about student loans. You don't have to worry about debt. You can find something that you enjoy and really like pursue it. I think that not to like shift this into like finance and talking about money and stuff, but I feel like once you're able to feel a little bit like wealthy, and as far as like getting rid of your debt, I think that kind of opens up your mind to more like creative thinking. Like, you don't really have to always necessarily focus on, I gotta pay this, I gotta do this, unless you're like you know what, I have a plan and this isn't even my mind, like paying this debt's not even my mind. But I think like I was gonna mention to you, like, maybe I think the motivation in being able to rise up to having power is to trying to like build something that you're passionate about, something that you just really want the world to know. You know what I mean? Like like build a platform. Like for me, like I'm trying to build this podcast. I'm trying to one day make this podcast be on a huge platform where we can really talk about so many different types of topics that relate to Live For You. And I'm just working on that. But like some way, when you work on something, like, and when you begin to like generate revenue and stuff, like you become more like you just continue to lift. You know what I
Right.
mean? You just continue to build. So it's like if someone who, if we're seeking someone to have power or authority to make change, and you know, we have all the like knowledge. We're trying to get that. We're trying to find someone to like, you know, like make change, and that person just isn't, you know, showing or whatever. You know what? Sometimes, and this is just me and my crazy mind. Like sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes it's like, you know what? Take things into my own hand, and I'm gonna just try to build for myself and get to a point where I can really inflict change. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And it just starts with one thing. Like, one of my friends, I had him on a podcast in Providence. This guy, Hakeem. He said something to me like, he was like, it starts with like, because I asked him, I said, why? Like, what's your purpose or whatever? And he was like, you know, we were growing up, we were brought up to believe that, you know, our father's a doctor, our aunt was a doctor, this person was a doctor, so we're gonna be a doctor.
Right.
Like, we don't have to be what others were. We can be who we want to be, and we can create a future for ourselves. So it's like, you know, whether you're doing whatever it is, you know, to just make money, keep in mind that goal that you have in your mind, that like purpose, which the end all be all, you know what I mean? Like what you're trying to do this for, you know what I mean? To carry yourself to a point where you can really start being like, all right, you know what? This is what I'm going to change. This is what I'm going to do, and really start making moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, you know, the unfortunate thing about the country that we live in and the society we live in is like people do want to do that, right? Like we do, but living in this like very much white supremacist, very much capitalist society, like it's not easy to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to recognize like the privilege that you and me have to be able to do any of the creative shit that we want to do. Like, so I think like about, you know, you mentioned something, I forgot exactly what you said, but like reaching up here and doing like, okay, I ain't even got to worry about my bills now. I'm gonna focus on this. Like that is like a huge privilege to have, you know, not worrying about that. But like that's the problem with like capitalism and the way that America does capitalism is like, you know, I can't do anything else. I have to work. And a lot of that productivity and like the success of wealth and money, a lot of that is tied to our own self-worth. And if we're not working, we ain't got no purpose. If we're not working, we ain't got this. If we're not working, we ain't got that. If we don't have a degree, we don't have this. And it's like, bro, like there's so much other stuff. Like I wish that we can just like unbrainwash everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because like imagine if like you didn't have to go to school. Like imagine if school wasn't pushed on you, dog. You wouldn't be in debt, first of all, and you could have done this podcast 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. And now it could have been like this. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't teach us like entrepreneurial skills, especially not black and brown kids. They want us to not do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like so I just think about like that, and there's so many like creative dope people out there that will never have access to that financial freedom to go do what they want to do. And if you're not working and you're not contributing to this capitalistic world, then you're homeless or then you're below the poverty line on welfare. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom had help and, you know, people need help. But it's just like that's where they want you to be. You know, they don't want you out here succeeding. So I just think about like the privilege that I have to had gone to school, done that. Now I have like a steady job and I get my money where I need my money and it's there when I need it. And now I can go focus on modeling, or now I can go focus on styling or working on growing. You know what I'm saying? Like even this podcast, like talking about live for you, like you can't live for you in a capitalistic society. Like you simply cannot. You think I like want to do these things, and it's like you just can't sometimes, and it sucks.
So would you if you were to decide again, like would you, if you had the option, knowing what you know now, would you go to college?
Absolutely, because I know that college, unfortunately, again, is the one way that people even like respect you in this world. Like, oh, where'd you go to school? Oh, I went to community college. Oh, I went to an online school. Oh, that's not a real school. What? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, the only like way that like you will make it is if you give in to this little system that they designed for us.
You think so? You think there's not? You don't think there's another way where people can like really become something? Because we've seen like you know, And it's not
name a regular person besides like who's a CEO now of fucking something. Like, okay, you got Jay-Z. Okay, he came from Marcy Project. Like, he came from struggle, whatever. Now he's a billionaire. Cool, great.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You got Kobe Bryant straight from high school.
No, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, I feel like there is still possibility to. I think nowadays, right? And this is gonna sound so generic, but I feel like nowadays, and I'm not trying to like belittle anything, but I feel like nowadays people don't know how to work hard. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, you're not a hard worker. I just feel like people don't know how to work hard. Like, you'll do one thing one day, but you know what? In your point, you're bringing it way back because people don't even have some resources to do what they need to do, which is tough. But for like middle class people or whatever, like if you're not trying to be in that capitalist environment or working in corporate America, basically, I feel like I feel like as simple as it sounds, it's actually pretty difficult. But I feel like you need to really like work hard, right? Not just one day, not just 2 days, not just 3 days. Sure. You really gotta
work hard every day.
Like, there's this dude, and I suggest everyone to watch this. There's this guy who I follow on Instagram, and I watched him on the Joe Rogan podcast. His name is David Goggins. I don't know if you heard of him, but this guy. So just listen to the story, man. So this guy was, he grew up in a nice neighborhood. His dad was abusive to him. His mom was weak, unfortunately, and like. Long story short, his dad was abusive to him, and he grew up believing like my dad's just, gonna take advantage of me. His dad, was abusive and all that stuff. When he became an adult, he was fit. He was a big dude. He was fit. He'll go to the gym, but he'll never run any miles. He was just lift. You know what I mean? And then he ended up seeing a commercial on like the Navy SEALs or whatever. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna try that out. Right. So they told him he was too big. He can't do it. He has to lose weight. So he was 297 at the time. He had to lose weight. Ended up losing all of that weight, like shedded all of that weight, and he was good. Went back and he ended up qualifying to be a. I may be getting the story a little bit wrong, but just follow me. So he ended up qualifying to become a SEAL, I believe, and then something happened where he gained the weight back, and then he I guess he lost the weight like twice or whatever. He was 297 twice, and he lost it twice. So then he went back to like the Hell Week or whatever. Yeah. And he was in training again, and then I guess something happened, and they found out that he had sickle cell. So he went to the hospital. They checked him or whatever, and he ended up he wanted to like stop the training because he had sickle cell, but he really wanted to end the training because he was afraid of the water, because there's just like tests that they do where they tie your hands and tie your feet, and you have to like get out the water basically.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
That's crazy. So he couldn't do that, but so he tried it again or whatever, and he ended up succeeding on his third try of Hell Week. So he had 3 Hell Weeks, and this dude David Goggins, man. He was talking about what got him to the point where he was like, becoming who he wanted to become was when he failed on his second. I'm going back a little bit now. When he failed on his second Hell Week, and he gained all of that weight back, and he ended up getting a job where he would like spray restaurants that had like cockroaches or whatever. And then he said that one time he ran into like the mother queen of all cockroaches, and he was like, you know what? Put the can down, went back in his truck, and was like, I can't. This isn't my life. I'm not going to be doing this. Went back to his apartment and started. He said he just became obsessed. He started working out, and he said he became obsessed. He was driven, and he was like, "Yo, I'm not going to accept this. This is not going to be in my life. I'm not going to be someone who sprays for cockroaches." And he became a Navy SEAL. And he runs ultra marathons. This guy's 43 years old, looks like he's like 22. Right. You know what I mean? And he talks about being an uncommon man amongst uncommon people, not being civilized, not being able to, not conforming to that mentality that people have for you. You know what I mean? Like, I go to work and people be like, "Oh man, it's Monday. Oh man, it's Tuesday." I just keep it to myself because I have my mindset. I'm saying I read a whole bunch of different books, and I know what I want for my life. But I think the biggest thing that people need to realize, or the biggest, fulfillment that they will feel, is finding out who you are, knowing who you are. Once you realize and once you find out who you are, nothing can stop you. Like once you know who you are and what you're capable of, nothing can stop you. And like, I didn't realize that until not recent, but like a few years ago, like, okay, I need to figure out who I am. Like in college, I didn't know who I was. I still thought I was going to the league. I thought I was going to the league. I was like, I'm playing ball. Like, I didn't really understand life like that. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is like, like, you have to, and like, it's different for different people, because people have different opportunities and they put in different like, situations. But you have to know who you are, man, and you have to like know what you're capable of. Because if you don't, then someone's just gonna hire you and make you do what they want to do and make you fall into their dreams. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know, man. It's a battle. Like, it's a constant battle of this life, man, that we live, and it's not a, we have the option to pick how we want to pursue. You know what I mean? But but like you said, it's tough. It's tough, man. But what's the quote? Everything you have, nothing. What's the quote? I'm tripping. What's the quote? It's
gonna say to me.
Dang, what's the quote, man? Nothing worth having is ever easy or comes easy. Something like that, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
So you just gotta,
nothing ever worth having comes.
Something like that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Without effort, without sign. No, yeah, definitely. I definitely understand what you're saying. Shout out to David Goggins for chasing his dream of becoming a SEAL or whatever he did there.
Facts.
Which that's a whole different story about that. I think that for me is like, you mentioned like working hard or whatever, and I think that I personally just don't know like that working hard is always enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are boys out there grinding, working day to day, who will never have access to the field, that will never have access to the court, that will never, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that work hard.
Yeah. You're right. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, it's a combination of things to make it really a reality of what you want to do. Like, you have to have that work ethic that you're talking about, but you also have to have access,
power.
You have to have tools. You have to have resources. You have to have, and unfortunately in this world, you got to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I agree, work hard, but at the same time, like, work smart.
Yeah, work
we
smart.
Out here killing ourselves for what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too much. It's too much to work so goddamn hard all the time and never have anyone give you a fucking bone at the end of the day, So I just like, I don't know. But anyways, like you just said this last thing too about like knowing yourself too. And it's like, it is tough to know yourself, especially when you, again, I'm going to bring everything. I'm sorry. Let's go. I don't know how many other people in your podcast talk about race and white supremacists and all this shit. But, it's hard to know yourself when your whole freaking world has been stripped from you. All your culture been stripped from you. Two, you have no history about the brilliant minds that came before you. All you know is that y'all was slaves and we were this and Native Americans and this and that. Like, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, they stripped history from us. They stripped all of those things. Like you said, your friend Hakeem, is that his name?
Yeah, Hakeem.
He's talking about doctors.
Yeah.
That's in the mind of like people who immigrant stories and immigrant people who come to this fucking country with this idea of like the American dream, which is the silly, but not silly of them. The American dream is silly, the white picket fence, whatever. They come here and that's all they know. Like, you're gonna be a doctor, you're gonna be this because that's what they know. But you come to like Black American kids and brown American kids, they don't know that they were kings and queens. They don't know that they're scientists. They don't know that they don't know like what they're really, the power that they hold within them is. All they know is what the media portrays and what society says. You're a drug dealer, you're a game banger, you're nothing, you're a loser. And then forget it if you're on top of that, like forget it if you're abused too. Like, that mental and traumatic, like social emotional learning, like it's just like too much. Like, like you come from generational trauma, you come from community trauma, you come from your own personal trauma, and then someone's gonna tell you just work hard. It's like, fuck you. You don't know what I've been through. I do work hard. And that white boy right up the street is still gonna get more opportunities than me I ever will. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, one, knowing yourself, yes, and working hard, but like it's just hard to do all of those things as a young man, as a young woman, as a young non-binary person, trans person, whatever, however you identify. Like, It's just too much to do sometimes, you know.
So you're right, man. And that's some. You're right, man. And like that's some real that's some real solid points that you bring up. So like, what is Marcy doing to help bring that to awareness, or to help change that? What steps can be taken? Because that's huge, man, to bring that to like.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I do enough. I don't think that, we do enough for our kids. And I don't think that the country as a whole does enough for our children. Like, I mean, if I could just eradicate the education system that we have now and replace it with one that I think is decent, I would do that. I would do that in hundreds of thousands.
And so we're back. I was just asking you, what can you do to, inflict change or try to bring this to other people, make people aware of, like, you don't have to, I don't want to say you don't have to go to college, because like,
no, you have to at some point. I think do something at least. Like, you have to do something. Unfortunately, I don't know. Like I was saying, like before, like the whole school system and the education, and I think if I could eradicate that and replace it, I absolutely would. And I would replace it with like a lot of things that are missing. I think in terms of just like, first of all, the correct history of the country.
People
give
need
the
to
correct history, because that is one of the most important things that plays into today. Like, people don't think about what was happening back in the day and how it plays into education now. Like, I was just watching, what is it called? Teach Us All. I think it's a documentary on Netflix. And, we know, I don't know about you, sorry. I knew a little bit about just like school segregation and whatever, right? And they were saying how, like, the white people back in the day who were so racist, so freaking racist, they closed every public school over there down in that county. What is that name of that county? Not Birmingham. Somewhere down there. What was it called? Oh, I can't remember. Teach Us All, a documentary, watch it. But so they closed every public school. And these motherfuckers put in their own money to fund a private school just for their white kids, where the black kids weren't allowed.
Where is this?
I can't remember the city. Little Rock, Arkansas, I think it was. The Little Rock 9.
What year?
Bro, like back.
We're
talking about segregated schools.
Gotcha,
you know what I'm saying? Like the first 9 black kids that went to that school. They closed all the schools in that whole county. Funded with white dollars a private school for their kids, and the black kids didn't get to go to school for a whole year. And thus the birth of private education.
Wow.
And if you see that segregation there, very overt, but you see that segregation everywhere in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like New York public schools, LA public schools, even like Chicopee, Springfield schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see how it's segregated, private, public.
I do.
And I just feel like, one, like, first of all, when you're with people that don't look like you, don't love like you, don't identify as you, your education is going to be more wholesome. It's going to be more like holistic, So I think desegregating schools is a very important thing to do first. And then second of all, like, damn, like, teach them the correct history. Like, teach them what's going on, because, like, if you don't teach them about those types of things, segregation, you don't teach them about mass incarceration, you don't teach them about the Reagan era and freaking Clinton, like, idiots. If you don't teach them those things, then how the hell are they going to ever understand what the hell's going on today?
Right. Right.
Proper education, like, proper history, proper sex education. Like, my goodness, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kids are gonna be fucking, whether you think they're not, or they're gonna be fucking. Like, once you hit that age and everything's consensual and it's good, they're gonna be doing it. So you need to teach them how to do that shit safely. You know what I'm saying? And now with the whole political attack on women and abortion and our own rights, like, what the hell's going on with y'all? Like, leave us alone. But now with that going on, like, now you're gonna have girls who are pregnant going to get botched abortions, and that's going to be dangerous as hell. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, one, proper sex education, 2, proper like LGBTQ education, proper black and brown history education. Why you got to teach me fucking calculus? Like, I ain't going into NASA. Like, I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Like, teach me some shit like financial literacy.
That's
you
great.
know what I'm saying? Like, how the hell to build your own business, how to do your taxes, like how to cook a freaking meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got kids going to college that never did their own laundry sometimes. And I'm like, bro, like, that's crazy, Like,
it's crazy too. I don't know if you watched The Breakfast Club.
Sometimes, I don't know. Charlamagne's crazy.
But so Andre Iguodala was on there, and he was talking about how, growing up is kind of what you're talking about, trying to like, you know, teach differently.
Yeah.
And he was saying how like, you know, he was brought up to just work hard, and like, you know, if you're sleeping, someone else is working harder than you. You need to work hard. He grew up believing that, and he was just like, no, you know what, like, you know, this led me to having. He ended up having insomnia, I guess.
Yeah.
And he was just like, man, that's not the way to go. Like, you know, you got to work smart, you know, work hard, but you need to get your sleep as well. Exactly. And then he was talking about how like, you know, he played under a certain like audience, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, you know, more of minorities and stuff when he was growing up. And then, you know, being in the NBA, he says it's different because like the majority of people that are there are like rich people. Like a seat costs $5,000 a seat like far away, you know what I mean? Like, are you gonna see some little kid from a low neighborhood coming into a Golden State Warriors game to watch them play?
Nope.
No. And he was saying like, you know, there needs to be the NBA or you know, there needs to be some sort of like thing done where like kids who, you know, idolize these superstars and who these superstars can relate more to should be able to come and like, you know, watch, because like they look in the stands and it's just like
a sea of white people.
Yeah. And then you know what else he said? He brought up the story where like, you know, when during the finals, Kyle Lowry bumped into like one of the billionaires or whatever, one of the owners. And he said that the owner was just like, he grabbed Kyle Lowry's hand. He was like, "Ah, screw you, like whatever." And like Andre Iguodala was just like, man, like, you know, if he wasn't like black, if he was, you know, a white ball player or whatever, then it would just he would he have said that? Would he have grabbed him like that, looked at him like that? And Andre Iguodala he just kept saying like, you know, it's so important for people to just be aware and see what's going on. Like Kyle Lowry could have reacted and went off, but he just was like, man, you know, I'm not even gonna do that. Like, just was calm. But it's just stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, and also when he said that thing with the basketball stuff, where it's like, oh, like there's kids out there who can't even come and watch you play, and kids that you relate to. I was like, dang, that kind of hit me, because I was like,
that's sad.
That's
when you think about it.
That
you know?
I was like, whoa, man, because like, imagine being in the NBA or WNBA and you see you know you're playing, but like,
yeah, like you ain't got none of your people there.
It's almost like you're playing, but you're like, who are these people watching me?
And
you know what I mean?
Who am I playing for?
Who am I playing
and like,
for?
is this your entertainment?
This is my entertainment. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, it's definitely tough. I want to go back to like what you said about like him. First of all, I love him. He's just a great guy. He seems like a great guy. Yeah. You know, when he was talking about like work hard, like when you're sleeping, someone's doing this, like the balance. Yeah. When he mentioned the balance, like work smart and get your sleep too.
Yeah.
Like, I think like a lot of the times, like I just saw a meme or a tweet, you know, whatever the kids call it these days. Right. It was a tweet, and it was like, yo, you know, like you're a millennial or something. I forget what it was. But when you can't call out of work because your work values employees more than your mental health and physical health. Oh my gosh. And it's like we're working ourselves to the bone for a company that will fire you the minute that you can't do this or you can't do that, or you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and that for me is the problem with like capitalism. That to me is the problem with the work hard mentality. That to me is the problem with tying your self-worth and your self-esteem and your production value to this. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do nothing all goddamn week and you are still valuable to this world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But people don't think like that, because if you're not making money, if you're not doing something for someone else, it's just like you ain't shit. Yeah. And it's like, damn, like can I like live? Like I'm depressed. My bad. I couldn't get out of bed today. Yeah. You know, like so I think like the balance is very important of making sure you're taking care of yourself, because burnout is real. It doesn't even matter if you don't work in social work, if you're not a teacher, if you're an accountant and you're burning yourself out working for a man that's never gonna fucking promote you because of whatever this, that, and the third. You know, like it's just about finding a balance. And then the last thing of like representation, like hello. Like man. You got, my thing is like, oh God, I love to see my brothers get paid. I love it so much. But my problem is when, I forgot who it was. It was Damian Lillard, I think. I forgot. He was like talking about pressure. Yeah. Someone's like, oh, you feel pressure? He's like, pressure? This is a ball. This is a ball game. Yeah, that's what he did say. Pressure is the single mom trying to find money for rent or feed her daughter. Pressure is this homeless man who don't know. Oh, Damian Lillard said that? I thought it was him. I could be wrong, but I think it was him, because I like him a lot, and I'm pretty sure I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm more obsessed with you now. Wow. Marry me. But I'm pretty sure it was him. And when I saw that, I said, fucking finally, someone says that you get paid millions of dollars to play a fucking basketball game.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that you get paid. I love that y'all are succeeding. You bought your mom's houses. You got out the hood, whatever that means to you. Like, I love that. But at the same time, we got people working at McDonald's fighting for $15 and people are getting mad at them. People are getting mad at people fighting for a living wage, but not at the Amazon CEO who had $11 billion or whatever in, income. Like, not mad at like LeBron James who makes all this money. Not mad at fucking Migos with all their teeth like the grill. Like, how are you mad at this woman trying to make $15 an hour just to pay rent or feed her family? Like, I just don't like we're so mixed up into this world, and I think competition is a big thing too. The competition is good, but at the same time, collaboration is a lot fucking better.
Yeah. Collaboration is great. Yeah.
Like, it's just,
I'm eating. I want you to eat too.
I want you to eat. You know what I'm saying? I want all of us to eat. So when I'm big or when I make it, whatever, and I know that they do, like the LeBron James opened up that school and like they do these things, and I know that there's certain laws in place where they can't just give out their money like how they would probably want to. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's just like, I don't understand how like the distribution of wealth in this country is just really fucked up.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we should have.
What did Tupac say back in the day? He was like,
swallow the rich.
He was like, there's no way that you see someone in California wicked poor or whatever, and then someone hit the lottery and get 100 million and they're good. Like, no,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, they knew that he was way ahead of his time. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was way ahead of his time, like talking about all that shit. But he was basically saying like, we're at the party, we're hungry, we want some food. At the one time, like, he basically explained the entire existence, like in one like little analogy of like how people turn violent in times of struggle. Like, where do you think crime comes from? Would we all be robbing people and killing people if we was all eating and we was chilling? No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, you're gonna turn violent. You're gonna, survive. You're gonna bang on that fucking door and say, yo, let me in. I'm hungry. And I'm gonna swallow you because you didn't give me no food. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't, the distribution of wealth is just like, honestly.
Man, you're seeing a lot of facts right now, and I think a lot of people need to hear this. We can go on forever, but I know we got to wrap it up soon.
Yeah, you got a ball game.
Right. So I wanted to ask you before we wrap it up, just give the viewers like 3 pieces. I know you gave us like a lot of advice right now and a lot of insight on things.
Did I?
You did though. There was a lot of hidden gems in everything that you've been saying. So just give the viewers like a few, three pieces of advice, just on, living their life and being able to, carry that right mentality. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think I just read something the other day in this book, and I think it kind of stuck with me, right? So I guess I'll leave you with like 3 things, I suppose. One is, if you're white listening to this,
there's some white folks listening to this. Yep.
When we talk about white people, we're not talking just about you specifically. Yeah. Okay, we're talking about the whole country, the white supremacist, the white idealistic world. Yeah. This shit was made for you, and it's not your fault. Okay, it was made for you, so you have to just understand that shit. You have to give Black and brown and Native indigenous folks spaces for themselves to talk about this shit, because it's about you, but it's not about you. Yeah. And if you're a good white and you're a good ancestor and you're a white person that understands shit, when we say white people suck, you should just understand that white people suck. Like, it's not you. Like, if I say that shit to Ellen's gonna be like, yeah, I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's gonna understand what the fuck I'm talking about. So as a white viewer listening, definitely listen and learn from Black and brown people. That's gonna be the most important thing that you probably do in your entire life, is listen and learn from us. And other religions too, like Muslim people and people like, there's a whole crisis going on in Sudan right now, and that's just like mortifying. Like, so listening, don't always rely on us for the information. Go fucking check out a book at the library and read some shit too, but definitely listen and spread awareness and understand and check yourself, check your privilege, check your whiteness, check in how you don't have to worry about certain shit every day, and use your privilege for good. So that's for those folks, and that's also for like Latin and Asian folks too. Okay. Black people are suffering out here. Okay. And brown people are suffering, but it's tough. Okay. Yeah. So all my light skinned Latinas and my Asians, y'all fucking figure it out too. Okay. That's the one thing. That's the one thing in terms of my social justice component of my podcast, right? So that's one thing. Learn and listen to people who are marginalized. in all respects. Trans people, like I'm a cisgender woman.
Yeah.
I better be listening to my trans people out here about what the fuck they need in this world. You know?
Absolutely.
So that's one thing. Second thing, stop working so damn hard.
Yeah.
My God, we're gonna kill ourselves before we even like need to. You know, like stop working so hard. Work smart.
Work smart.
Put yourself first. That's the one thing that I can say is like put yourself first. Whatever you need, whether it's your job, whether it's your relationship, whether it's where you're at right now in the current city you live in, put whatever you need and want to do first. That's it.
Yeah.
Be selfish. Because when you're selfish, you're going to start filling up your own cup, and then you can start being unselfish. And then you can start doing other shit for other people, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So be selfish. Do what you want to do. Put yourself first. Don't worry about calling out that day. Don't worry about making up the hours. That work is still going to be there on Monday. Take that Friday off. Okay?
Right.
And then the third thing, self-MC, we got social justice.
Yep. Be selfish.
We got talking about you. Living for you, that's the whole thing, right? Like take that Friday off, man. Fuck it.
Yep.
And then I guess the third thing is, I don't know, I feel like we just need a lot more compassion.
Oh,
I
nice.
suppose, in this world. So the third thing is really trying to be tender with yourself. Being tender with yourself, catering to your mental health is really important. But when you do that, I think that you start to learn a little bit more about what other people need too.
Yeah.
When I started realizing, like, you know me, I've always been pretty hard, like tough, whatever, but I'm sensitive as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, had no idea I was that sensitive.
Yeah.
But when you start, like, doing that, you realize, like, yo, like, I need someone to not cuss at me, or I need someone to not do this. So why the hell am I going to do that to somebody else? You know, you start realizing, like, what you need. And in the same way that goes with, like, love, right? Like, you realize how you want to be loved, how you want people, and this is platonic, non-platonic relationships, family relationships. You realize how you want to be loved and what you need, and you can then reciprocate that to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Or be able to talk to them about, hey, what do you need? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're my girl. Like, I love you to death. Like, tell me something that you need right now to make you happy, or how I can support you, or what can I do for you? And I'm gonna tell you what you can do for me, because I know myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I know myself. I know what I need. And I think that's the thing, like, build some compassion and empathy for yourself. Like, be tender with yourself, learn yourself a little bit more. And in that respect, you can start learning other people a little bit more too. And let people merge in these damn lanes, okay? I'm tired.
Yeah, right.
I'm tired of being on the fucking highway and no one's letting me merge, okay? Let me merge over.
Miserable.
This is not a competition, okay?
Right.
All I'm trying to do is get on this next exit. Don't fucking speed up, okay? Just let me merge. That's it, okay? But yeah, so those are the things that I think, 3 things that your listeners, your viewers can take away from me. And if any of them have anything to say to me, negative or positive, you can find me on Instagram. And just know that it's always love and it's always challenges, because I'm making sure you growing. Like, if you're not growing, you ain't glowing. There's fucking no point of being here.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, you're right. If you're not growing, then there's no point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, Marcy, thank you for like sharing your wisdom, your insight, and really like blessing everyone with, you know, all the information, because people don't know. Some people need to know. Some people need to hear hear these things, you know. So I really appreciate that. I'm happy you came through. I haven't seen you in years, man. But it's like we just left off right where we, you know, picked it up right where we left off. You know,
in freaking
so I know
Rose Williams right now.
I know, right? Wilding out. But
where's Bryson at?
I know, right? Where's Bryson at, man? He was another dude who was at the orientation.
Yeah.
But no, man, I really appreciate you coming through, man. This was great, and I'm sure we're gonna reconnect later on. So
of course, thank you so much. Again, my Instagram is Mars Took the Mic, so definitely follow, hit me up. If you want any of this dosage again, definitely do that.
Check her out.
And thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy.
Peace.
Yes, peace.